So the Philadelphia Eagles lost last night to the Washington Commanders, and that's something I'm going to have to live with. But you have to feel good for all those Commander fans who waited it out and won their first Super Bowl in over 20 years. Well, that's at least how they acted. But Eagles fans have bigger worries and bigger things to look at, quite frankly, like the health of their star quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He did leave the game in the first quarter. We're going to talk about what we've heard so far and how likely it is that he returns this Sunday to help the Eagles go ahead and clinch that number 2 seed. Also, I want to talk about CGJ and his ejection and how none of it really makes sense. Let's talk about it.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is another episode of Philly the podcast, man. So I'm excited about this loss because
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
it's over, right? You know, that's the one thing. I don't want to say I'm excited about it, but I'm relieved. All the anxiety you go into these games and you're like, when's the time you're going to lose? Are you going to lose? Are you going to be able to go? It's over. It's over now. That's the best thing about this game. The Eagles have to look forward. They have to figure out what went wrong, and I think that we're going to kind of hash out some of those things. But first, I do want to get right into the CGJ stuff because I think it's very interesting and very weird. I think that's the best way to say it. Me and Seth Joyner apparently have two different opinions, and that's fine. He's feeling that CGJ cost the team, that he needs to shut his mouth up, basically said, shut the F up. I'm not going to say it on here, kind of like being monetized, but he wanted him to shut the F up, and I understand that, okay? I understand that to this end, which I did kind of confront him and say, you never talk trash, and he did say he did, but he never crossed his team. I mean, it's kind of semantics at this point. At the end of the day, I want to know what happened. And we did get a little bit of, I guess, clarity from the referee that called him out, that, ejected him. We'll read it together and you guys tell me if you hear any clarity in this. So when interviewed, he asked if he could explain the ruling for the second unsportsmanlike conduct on CJ Gardner Johnson and what led to that call ultimately getting him ejected. The referee then said he's basically taunting the opponent on the second foul. He already had a first one earlier in the game that we had announced as his first towards the disqualification. So this became his second. He was taunting the players. So that's a disqualification by rule. And then when they kind of pushed a little bit further, saying, okay, and on the first one, it looked like there was some shoving, pushing by both. Was there any thought of penalizing both sides? The response was, well, we only had that one foul. So I wish we got some answers, but to be 100% honest with you, that leaves me with more questions. And with all due respect, I think Seth Joyner was one of our best players. It was an honor to be able to watch him. It's pretty cool for him to reach back out and explain his side. But in my opinion, when you look at this, you got to give the blame to the refereeing sometime. They get so many passes. I feel like so many times you look at it and you just say, well, the player has to be better. The players have adrenaline pumping, and I'm sure referees do as well. My ultimate thing, I don't want to go into a crazy spiel about this, but I do want to say my ultimate thing is, what happened? What actually happened? Because it sounds like you reffed with your feelings. You reffed with your emotions. You got upset by what he was saying or thought what he was saying may have crossed the line. Say that. If what he said crossed the line, say that so we know what the line is. But it seems like he was just upset. He was yelling. Chauncey Gardner Johnson even said, which I'll put up, he said that he was upset after he saw his guy get a cheap shot. He saw Jalen Hurts get hurt and he got upset and he talked his talk. And that was the first one. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. I mean, I don't think talking ever got you penalties. We have Brandon Graham. He's talked his tail off, but you also see it with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is not getting calls, and he's getting a lot of calls on him. The personal foul that he got was just atrocious. So I really want to know what you guys think. Is this as big of a problem as I'm making it out to be? Because maybe I'm making it out to be way too big, but this is something I've been seeing, and I feel like this last game really encompassed the whole season of us really not getting the fair treatment, equal treatment. I don't know how you want to put it. I know a lot of people are going to be in the comment section calling me a crybaby. It is what it is. You lost. It isn't about this loss. It's more so about the game inside the game. I don't understand why my players are getting treated differently than other players would. So that's my opinion. That's just what I want to know. You guys let me know in the comments. Now, I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts, and I want to talk about Kenny Pickett as well, because both of them actually got hurt at the game, and both of them were getting checked out after the game. So we'll get into that. Before we get into that, do me a favor, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family, man. I'm trying to hit 10K by like the end of the season. If we can get to 10K by like the Senior Bowl, that would be dope. That would be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun at the Senior Bowl either way, but I would love to bring 10,000 of y'all with me. So do me that favor. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. So we'll start with Kenny Pickett, because I knew that he got hurt towards the end of the game, but I didn't know the severity of it. So he did get x-rays. Nick Sirianni did not say what happened with those x-rays. He did not say what his availability is. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to be hoping that it's not anything too crazy. I do feel like he had a good game. I do feel like, he made a lot of good throws. He made a lot of good decisions. There were drops. I mean, there was just miscues all over the field, whether it be penalties, whether it be drops, whether it be whatever you want to call it. Blocking, there was a lot of offensive line miscues, which kind of worried me. But at the end of the day, I feel like he had a good game when you isolate what he did. And I feel like he's a good guy to have as your backup. I'm more comfortable with him, which I kind of talked about in our short. So if you want to go watch that, I kind of goes deeper into that. But either way, I think he did pretty well. So it's kind of worrying that he did have an x-ray. So we'll see what happens. I believe it's something with his shoulder. We saw him favoring that twice in the game. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. We should have more answers midweek, most likely. And then Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts, obviously, I mean, he did look concussed. I will say that. I'm going to say that before I say anything. He did look like something was wrong, so I don't hate the decision that they took him out. There were reports and there were rumors, I was told, and I thought I heard in the game. I'm not sure. I have to go rewatch it. But I thought I even heard in the broadcast that he passed all his protocol. Like, he passed the protocol, and he looked like he was going to come back in the game. I mean, you saw him on the sideline. He looked like he was ready. He looked like he was wanting to come back into the game. Even after that play, which I know it happens a lot with players, he told the referee he was fine. Again, I know that a lot of players will do that. That's just the competitives, right? That's the adrenaline pumping. But again, it leaves me with questions. It leaves me with a lot of questions. If he passed the protocols, was that a call from Nick Sirianni? And we'll hear that most likely either today. I know he's going live with the media, or we might have to wait till midweek to find out. If he's in concussion protocol, he is not going to most likely pass that until Thursday, Friday, maybe. Luckily, hopefully, that's what you're looking at. So you would probably be looking at Jalen Hurts with no practice for a whole week. I don't know if Nick Sirianni's okay with putting that into the game. So there's going to be a lot of questions. And you also have, Kenny Pickett. Look, we saw Tanner McKee on the sideline warming up. So you are going to have a shuffle at that quarterback position. The best part of it is you just got to win one. If you can go out there and figure out a way to win this game against the Dallas Cowboys, which I think that you can, right? Even if it's Kenny Pickett, even if it's Tanner McKee, I think you can put together a game plan to be good enough to go out there and beat the Dallas Cowboys. If you can do that, I think that you'll be fine. You can rest the guys in week 18 and you go at, the playoffs healthy, and you have that 2 seed, you have that home bye. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we hear something about Jalen Hurts either today, like I said, or tomorrow. I'll try and make a video quickly if we get some news today. You guys let me know what you're thinking in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think about that Super Bowl win for the Washington Commanders. I can't stand George right now. If you guys watch the Best of Enemies, this is the quickest that we've ever scheduled a Best of Enemies. We will be ready for Thursday again. So Thursday, we're going to do Best of Enemies. Wednesday on Christmas Day, and happy holidays to everybody. On Christmas Day, we will be doing my Wednesday show with my guys. Still don't have a name for it. So if you guys have a name for that, leave it down in the comments. Other than that, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it's going to be. It is Fly Eagles Fly. It is. It's always going to be that. I'm upset. I'm mad, but it's still Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here.
Man, what? Man, fuck them refs.
Peace!
Everywhere. This is for you.
Yeah. Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Jackson like Deshaun, hunting like Randall. Season hit, early time to do 'em in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.